Good evening. You are watching GBS News at 9. I am Paul Madhenge and our sign language interpreter tonight is Alan Kiama. Let's take a look at the day's top stories, starting with lecturers in all public universities have today downed their tools, plugging learning into a crisis after the government failed to fully implement collective bargaining agreements worth more than 10 billion shillings. The strike, led by the university's academic staff union, has paralyzed learning in 41 universities and constituent colleges across the country. Susan Nganga has the details.
Solidarity. Today, Dr. Constantine Wasanga Opio, PhD, LLB, LLM, CBA, Return to Work Formula, CPM. I have officially launched the strike.
From lecture halls to libraries, the silence is deafening. Students sent home, classes suspended, and exams postponed as the nationwide university strike takes effect. The University Academic Staff Union, UASU, together with other university staff unions, accuse the government of failing to honor signed collective bargaining agreements. At the center of the dispute, arrears from the 2017 to 2021 CBA amounting to 8.8 billion shillings and another 7.8 billion shillings from 2021 to 2025 cycle.
Here on 23rd of November, with an agreement over 3 phase payment. They lived up to phase 1. Phase 2 was supposed to be paid from the 1st of July. Yet again, the government has reneged. We as workers have been patient. This is going to be the 3rd month.
Despite the Treasury's announcement that 2.5 billion shillings had been released to settle part of the arrears, the lecturers insist the industrial action will not be called off until the money reflects in their accounts and fresh negotiation for the 2025 to 2029 CBA begin.
If that money is not paid, hawa wafanyikazi hawarudi wapi? Hawarudi. Then we have another cycle that has already taken off. The life of that cycle has started. The 2025-2029 CBA. This CBA, its life began on 1st of July 2025. It is yet to be negotiated, not even a comma. We gave our proposals years back. We called them to come on the table, let's engage. They have never given us any counter offer. They have never shown any.
The impact of the strike is already being felt. Learning disrupted in all 41 public university and constituent colleges. Students left stranded with no lectures, no library services, and uncertainty over exams and graduation timelines.
I just want to see students just going away. No one is coming to teach you. So.
Susan Nganga,
Okay.
GBS News, Nairobi.
I'm here.
And now from Mombasa County, President William Ruto has officially commissioned the Mombasa Commuter Railway Transport, which will provide an affordable and safe transport system in Mombasa County. Speaking during the launch of this transport system, President William Ruto stated that the rail transport system will boost the economy of this sealed city and county, as Davis Karani now reports.
Marking his day 2 at the coastal region, President William Ruto has today commissioned the Mombasa commuter rail system. Just a day after launching, the same transport system in Kilifi County will now be enhanced by the new advancements through easy transportation of goods and services.
The commissioning of the Mombasa commuter rail is more than a local convenience. It is a symbol of our past, a solution for our present and a promise for the future. With this service, Kilometer Zero once again becomes the epicenter of Kenya's journey, not just the starting point of our history, but the launchpad of our modern economic destiny.
The Deputy President, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, has also urged all Kenyans to remain united and say no to ethnicity and division.
We are grateful for helping Kenya to be a united country under God, one nation, one people. And our ethnicities, our religions should not defeat the project of creating a united Kenya, na hiyo ndio inafanya hawa wananchi waseme tu tamu. Ama namna gani?
And above it all those who have been displaced during the construction of the railway system will be compensated according to Transport Cabinet Secretary Honorable Davis Chirchir, who also lauded Mombasa residents for complying with a displacement notice that had been issued seeking them to pave way for the railway construction.
I want to thank the residents along the corridor Miritini, Changamwe West, Changamwe East. We know tuliwasukuma kidogo, lakini pia niseme kwamba ile hela zenu 2.1 billion kwamba for compensation for Eastmen, Your Excellency, we have released that money, National Land Commission, and I want to encourage our colleagues at the National Land Commission waharakishe kwamba watu wa hiyo East wapate riziki yao for allowing us to be in that corridor.
Davis Karani for GBS News, Mombasa County.
And more on the same, President William Ruto inspected the stale Jomvu Bridge in Mombasa County and pledged to complete it within 3 weeks. He used the visit to criticize opposition leaders, accusing them of lacking development plans and dividing Kenyans along ethnic lines. Let's have a look.
The Jomvu Bridge has remained incompleted for 8 years, causing traffic delays and frustration for residents in Mombasa County. The project has seen multiple false starts under previous administrations with little visible progress until now.
Hii daraja hii imekwama miaka karibu 8. Kweli ama si kweli? Hii daraja imekwama siku nyingi. Niliwaambia mnipatie nafasi kidogo nirekebishe uchumi. Sasa uchumi nimerekebisha. Sasa mambo iko sawa. Nimeenda masokoni, nimetafuta pesa. Sasa tumewapatia pesa ya kukamilisha hii daraja.
During the inspection, President Ruto said the bridge will be completed within 3 weeks. He criticized his opponents, saying they have no clear plans for development and instead focus on dividing Kenyans along ethnic lines.
Ya kwamba hii daraja wiki 3, nataka hii daraja iwe imekamilika, lori ianze kupitia hapa juu, na kama hauna sera, kama hauna mpango, kama hauna taratibu yoyote, wacha kutusumbua. This country has no time for people without an agenda, without a program, without what destiny we want for our nation. We want leaders. We must compete on ideas. We must compete on our vision. We must compete on transforming the nation. We cannot compete on how we are going to divide our nation and how ethnicity is going to take center stage in our politics.
Mvita MP Badi Twalib welcomed the announcement and thanked the president for prioritizing the region.
Nataka kutoa shukurani kwa waziri wetu Davis Chirchir na PS wake, lakini zaidi piga makofi ya William Samoei Ruto ndio ambaye ameweza kutengezea hii.
Ruto emphasized that infrastructure is central to his administration's agenda and urged leaders to focus on delivery over politics. Residents hope the renewed commitment will finally bring the long-delayed project to completion. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Ibrahim Said.
And with that story, let us take a short break. Share your views and feedback on our social media platform at GBS TV Africa or via SMS 21144. The news at 9 resumes shortly.
Hello, my name is Nyabio. I'm from Mahanim. Call this school a good school because the second my mom saw it, she saw it was Christian based. And when I see Kristen Base, that's what the character my mother wants for me. And I like the sports that we play for PE. Like sometimes we play table tennis, we can play football, we match. And on Fridays we have games. And we verse the teachers in football. And this is why I think the school is the best school your children can go to.
But what is the problem? The problem, people don't want to hear the voice of Jesus, and they don't want to live through the voice of Jesus. But most of the time, people are living their life of struggling. The people who died before receiving Jesus Christ, the people who died in sin, those people, they will go to the judgment, they will go to the fire, and those people will say that they are dead because they will face the second death, which is the hellfire. People without knowing this, people think that, no, I should do something. No, I need to do something. Why? Because they don't know exact heart of God. They don't know exact will of God. And through this, God allowed His goodness. God allowed the problems in our life. And when God allowed this goodness leads us to
everywhere. GBS.
Welcome back to the news at 9. Thank you for staying with us. And now from Siaya County, a Lego Usonga Member of Parliament, Samuel Atandi, is challenging Siaya Governor James Orengo to come clean on a multi-million shilling employment scandal that has seen more than 380 workers declared fake. Here is more on the story.
Speaking at Malomba Secondary School in West Alego, where he presided over the groundbreaking of a multi-million shilling academic block, Atandi said the county government had to invite the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission to probe the scam. He warned that heads had to roll if Orengo expected continued support from both elected leaders and the public. Atandi revealed that many victims had sold land and raised up to 500,000 Kenyan shillings, allegedly demanded before employment. He added that those who took the money from desperate job seekers had either to refund it or provide the promised jobs.
What we are saying, if you know you have taken money from innocent Kenyans in Siaya, you promise them some job, please give them those jobs. You know, we don't want a situation where jobs are for free. There are people should be employed, just you do interview, you are hired. But in case you take somebody's money, please give them those jobs. I met so many people who are crying and saying, I sold my land, I gave them 500,000, 400,000, they promised me a job, I was given a letter, I reported, I worked for 8 months, I was told I'm not eligible to be employed here. So I think we want to urge the governor to take action.
Local youth led by Nick Ongoro also pressed the governor to break his silence, arguing that the county administration had collapsed if it allowed hundreds of ghost workers to operate undetected for months. Ongoro urged residents to join the victims in demanding justice and asked the governor to respect the assembly's oversight role. Last week, the Siaya County Public Service Board Chief Executive Officer Wilfred Nyagundi confirmed that over 380 individuals were dismissed after being found with forged employment documents. He explained that only 120 workers had been genuinely employed after a proper recruitment process, but an unscrupulous cartel had issued fake letters to unsuspecting youth. The scandal sparked demonstrations by affected workers, who presented a petition to the county assembly seeking reinstatement.
I joined the 382 affected healthcare workers. These are our brothers and sisters that we stand in solidarity with. They were legally employed, given offer of appointment letter, given a letter to report in their respective facilities. Only after 8 months to be told that we don't know you, you are a ghost worker.
The scandal will continue to attract pressure on Governor Orengo as leaders and residents push for accountability and demand justice for victims of the fraudulent recruitment scheme. Molin Rono for GBS News.
And more from Machakos County. Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti has applauded 3 county departments for what she termed as exemplary performance in the 2024-2025 financial year. Agriculture, food security, cooperative and livestock development was ranked the best performing department, followed closely by finance, revenue, economic planning and ICT, while lands, urban planning and energy came in third. The 3 departments were recognized with trophies and certificates during the release of the annual performance report, a process overseen by a panel of experts, including former senior government officials and university professors. Governor Wavinya urged the winners to sustain the momentum and aim even higher, warning that sliding backwards was not an option, but she was equally firm on underperforming departments, saying the only way forward is to improve services delivery or risk being left behind.
Today, therefore, I officially launch the digitization of performance contracting in the county government of Machakos. This is not only a simple technology upgrade, it is a statement of intent that from today forward, our performance system will be transparent, accessible, and data-driven. Going forward, I direct that all departments adopt this modern model of performance, contracting, and appraisal. Why digitization? Because a digital platform allows real-time tracking, minimizes manipulation, and gives citizens and oversight bodies a clear window into how we are doing our things. For example, if ESCC wants to know what Machakos is doing, they can get into our system, isn't it? And see it there. If all the other, the CID, everybody can get into the system and see what we are doing.
And now from Kirinyaga County, farmers in Kirinyaga County are being urged today to embrace modern farming technologies such as drone spraying services, which offer rather efficiency, safety, and better yields for agriculture activities. Here are the details.
The call was made during the launch of spring drones at Agitech Farm in Mwea, where Mazao Afya Director Peter Karanja said agribusiness and technology had helped farmers maximize their returns. He noted that the farmers had relied on leaking pumps and manual sprayers, which exposed them to hazardous chemicals due to lack of protective gear. Karanja explained that the drones had provided a faster, safer, and more efficient alternative, with one drone able to spray an acre in 15 minutes.
Today is also a very great day because we are launching a very, very important service, a technology that our farmers have been yearning for, they have been looking for, that is drone services spraying. Our farmers are actually have been using very, very old technologies, using pumps and sprayers that are leaking, and as such, wakati anapiga dawa inamwagikia mwili yake, and these particular products are hazardous.
Seed company representative Wellington Wasike highlighted that drone technology had also helped in wind control and reduced labor expenses, especially in the Mwea irrigation scheme, where rice farming was predominant. Farmers who attended the launch had welcomed the innovation and were encouraged to form groups in order to access drone spraying services at a lower cost.
The advantages of this particular service is one, the drones are very, very fast. Within about 15 minutes, one drone will have actually sprayed one whole acre, and therefore there is a lot of time saving.
Sisi wenye wazee hatuwezi beba pampu sasa. Itatusaidia kwa sababu italaizisha maneno yote kwa sababu itakuwa itaspray mashamba yetu bila wasiwasi na ni rahisi.
The use of drones will continue to revolutionize farming in Kirinyaga, empowering farmers to increase productivity, cut costs, and adopt safer methods of food production. Molin Rono for GBS News.
It's time for a brief break. Your comments and feedback are welcome on our social media at GBS TV Africa or by SMS 21144. Stay with us for more on the news at 9.
Confidence and body image. Confidence and body image is what we'll be talking about today. So I've always been told I'm too short to model. Does height really matter, or is confidence enough?
No. Height, in the world we are in today, height does not matter.
It doesn't.
When it comes to modeling. Actually, leave alone height, even body size doesn't
even
matter.
Body size?
Yes. Modeling
Right.
is, it's an open space to express yourself. You know, modeling is visual representation of a brand, of who you are. So it's about you showing up and showing your authentic self. Just
Right.
that. In the industry, I have experienced, met very short people, men and ladies, and they do amazing. They're really good. It's all about, I think, believing in yourself, that confidence, you know, and knowing you can do it and you need to do it.
Walk an imaginary runway across the room, but do it like you're wearing 10-inch heels and atuna heel. So yeah, pretend do it like you're wearing a 10-inch heel. Haibo. Tuende kazi. Haya, makofi kwake.
My name is Aurelian Chama. I'm 8 years old. I'm a grade 4 student at Waridi Utawala School. When I grow up, I like to be a supermodel, a doctor, a dermatologist, so that I can advise little children to deal better with their skin problems.
When was the first time ulianza sasa when was the first time you got your first title? Do you prefer painting, drawing, or playing outside?
Drawing.
Drawing. Oh, you also like to draw?
Dear future Aurelie, I'm advising you that to do better on your exams, to care for people, to care about yourself, and do good things. And if you have an opportunity, do it. Any opportunity, even if it's from modeling, dancing, singing, anything.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back. You are watching the news at 9, right here on GBS TV Africa. Let's now shift our focus to international news. Taylor Robinson, the suspect in the killing of conservative US activist Charlie Kirk, appeared virtually on Tuesday for his first court hearing since his arrest earlier. Utah prosecutors said they would seek the death penalties for Robinson as they cited evidence against him, including alleged text messages in which he appeared to confess to assassinating on September 10th during an event that Kirk was hosting at Utah Valley University. Let's have a look. Evidence and possibility of the death penalty. In a visual court appearance, the suspect, wearing a sleeveless vest, spoke minimal words.
Tyler James Robinson.
Prosecutors say that in text messages with his roommate, The alleged gunman, Taylor Robinson, admitted to shooting Kirk and told his roommate to look for a confessional message under his keyboard.
The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it."
Prosecutor Jeffrey Gray quoted Robinson and saying he disclosed his motive.
"I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out."
The charges: aggravated murder, 2 counts of obstruction of justice, 2 counts of witness tampering, felony discharge of firearm, and committing a violent offense in the presence of a child. Vice President J.D. Vance insists the Trump administration will pursue and prosecute what they call a culture of political violence on the left.
People on the left are much likelier to defend and celebrate political violence. This is not a both sides problem.
That assassination construct with recent events, including the assassination of a Minnesota Democratic lawmaker and her husband, an attack of former Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, and a foiled plot to kidnap Michigan Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer, all carried out by right-wing activists. As his court case progresses, Robinson is likely to remain at the center of the culture war dividing the United States. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M. Mine. And more from International Desk, the United Nations is stepping up efforts to support peace and recovery in South Sudan, where communities in Upper Nile continue to face conflict, displacement, and climate shocks. A regional forum in Malakal brought together county commissioners to chart a path forward. Let's have a look.
Conflict and flooding have displaced thousands across South Sudan's Upper Nile region. In Nasir County, families returning home are finding no shelter, no food, and no basic supplies.
In fact, the situation in Nasir, there is so many people which have been run away from the conflict which happened in Nasir. Now they come back. So they face so many difficulties. There is no shelter, and there is no cooking material. And ballastic sheet, you may bring water for it. All these things are not available.
Local officials say the situation remains dire, with many still living without cooking tools or clean water containers. To address the crisis, the United Nations mission in South Sudan brought county commissioners together in Malakal for regional forum. The meeting focused on reconciliation, security, and ways to support communities hit hardest by violence and climate shocks. Officials urge dialogue and cooperation as the only path forward.
Conflicts are there, misunderstandings are there, differences are there, but there's only one way: having dialogue. To sit down and identify those issues that we are facing as communities, come up with a solution over it, and strive for a better South Sudan and strive for peace.
Commissioners are now calling on national government and international partners to act. They want urgent support for displaced families, better infrastructure, and long-term investment in flood-prone areas. Without it, they warn, recovery will still stall and communities will remain at risk. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Ibrahim Said.
Now moving on, Somalia has launched a historic national strategy to combat the threat of improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, which remain the deadliest weapon used by extremist groups across the country. The plan, unveiled in Mogadishu, brings together government agencies, security forces, and international partners in a coordinated fight against the menace. Maureen Rono has the more on the story.
During the launch, Somali officials say the strategy was crafted after years of devastating attacks that have claimed thousands of civilians and military lives. The initiative outlines measures to detect, disarm, and prevent IED incidents through intelligence sharing, advanced training for security forces, and closer cooperation with communities. International partners present at the ceremony pledged technical and financial support to boost Somalia's capacity in countering the threat.
This strategy is a critical step in translating existing policies into practical actions. As a ministry, we will expand and train the explosive disposal units of the Somali National Army. We will also ensure that the law enforcement agencies and intelligence teams are able to collaborate effectively in identifying and preventing explosive threats before they happen.
IEDs have long been the preferred weapons for Al-Shabaab militants, responsible for roadside bombings, assassinations, and large-scale attacks in Mogadishu and other regions. Previous efforts to curb the threat were fragmented, with limited resources and coordination. Authorities said the new strategy marks the first comprehensive and nationally owned approach to deal with the challenge.
The challenge now lies in sustained implementation, but we're confident that with continued national resolve and with coordinated and focused support from international partners, this strategy can strengthen Somalia's capacity to mitigate the threat of IEDs, protect the Somali people, and reinforce peace and security.
Officials expressed optimism that the strategy will significantly reduce IED incidents and enhance public safety. They further vowed that its success will pave way for broader stabilization efforts as Somalia continues its fight against terrorism and moves closer toward long-lasting peace and security. Molin Rono for GBS News.
Now, with that story, let us take a short break. Continue engaging with us through our social media handles at GBS TV Africa or SMS line 21144. The news at 9 returns in a moment.
We're going to be talking about the rock industry and rock culture in Kenya.
When an artist goes into a studio thinking about a hit song, God walks out of the room. So msanii achaguangi hit, hakuna msanii. Msanii achaguangi hit, like even most of the hit songs, some of the songs zinakuanga zile msanii hata apendi kwa hiyo.
Well, that's true. This pressure that is coming in, you need to feed your audience what they want to be fed with, right? What is trending, you need to go as per what is trending. So if you ask a majority of people out here, yes, rock music is there, it is being played, but it's not recognized sana.
Some years back, reggae music used to have a stereotype too. Reggae ilikuwa watu wa bangi, ya watu
sijui
kama mtu alikufa, assuming someone died who died in the 90s, someone died in 1995, akifufuka saa hii wale watu wanasikia reggae, he'd be very shocked. My goal is to demystify rock in Africa kwa sababu music is music, guitar, the rock, all music came from Africa. Muziki haina kabila, how do I put, muziki haina kabila. In fact, they'd be shocked, the rock music we know as of now came from black people. Wakamba ndio marockstar Kenya, high Kambas. You know the way they play the guitar is just an expression, yeah? There's Kikuyu, gospel, hard rock, a guy called Kanyaki for example. So it's very misunderstood. Watu wanasema ni ya madevo, ni ya wazungu.
Coming up on Mta Madness. Love collides with betrayal. An unexpected truth will shake the neighborhood to its core.
Semanga huu ankojemu atiajai kuletea kitu. Haya. Ndio hiyo. Miracle. Umetoa pia anko. Usijali, hiyo ni mambo yangu. Check expiry 2022. Iko 2025. Ni mkebe imeexpire, kitu iko ndani ni legit.
Decision, one secret, and a storm no one saw coming.
Apparently, the pastor's hoodie has sports betting code embroidered
When trust breaks,
all rent must be paid via M-Pesa or bank transfer.
the fallout is inevitable.
Nauliza, na hii tiri yako iko registered under which name? Kwa jina gani? Madam Transparency. Tuliona
Fraud Surprise Limited. Kiosk bila stoko.
Next time, the past refuses to stay buried.
Jackpot promotion. Unajua? Ndio jackpot promotion. Naifahamu. Wamekuletea. So, unaweza jienjoy. Nashukuru sana.
Sasa ndio mnajua kugonga. What they don't know won't light their torches.
Ta Madness, a choice that changes everything.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is the news at 9. And now we pick up from where we left off. As Cameroon prepares for a high-stakes presidential election on October 12th, the spotlight is on the country's youth, who make up more than 60% of the population. With unemployment and economic hardship weighing heavily on their shoulders, many young Cameroonians are hoping this election will bring real change. Our reporter Elvis Muyodi takes a closer look at what's driving their hopes, frustration, and demands for a new future.
With just weeks to go before Cameroon's presidential election on October 12th, the nation's youth, over 60% of the population, find themselves torn between frustration and hope.
The situation of the country is getting tough by the day, and we are hoping that whoever wins the election should see into the situation, the problems the citizens are facing. So that's just all the reason why we want to vote.
As a citizen, it is my birthright. It is a time where I need to decide for the fate of this country for the next 7 years. And I am going in with a lot of optimism.
Despite an employment rate of 6.23%, many young Cameroonians struggle daily to find stable work. At the same time, some young voters remain hopeful that the upcoming October election could be a turning point for their future.
My generation, young people born in the 90s and the early 2000s, are no more patient. We are at the elastic limit of patience to live under the leadership of one person. So I think that we are going to cast the vote of hope come 12 October 2025.
Analysts say if the youth mobilize and push for transparency, they could finally shift the balance of power, but many believe coordinated action is still lacking.
Cameroonian youths are not yet up to the level of coordinated actions that is independent of politics. And unless they learn from other countries, they cannot have such mobilizations that are on the ground. We had even just Nigeria next door, NSAS, which led to something very big.
As 93-year-old President Paul Biya seeks yet another term after 40 years in power, the question remains, will this be the year for the young Cameroonians to turn their numbers into real political force? Only time will tell. Elvis Muyodi, GBS News.
Moving on, a military parade by the M23 rebel group in control of mineral-rich Eastern Congo over the weekend raised concerns among some residents and experts over the future of an impending peace deal between Congo and the rebels' main backers, Rwanda. The deal will shape the fate of the M23 rebel group in Eastern Congo, which launched blitz attacks in January to take over key cities including Goma and Bukavu, while the Congolese army swiftly retaliated. UN experts said the M23 was backed by thousands of troops from neighboring Rwanda. A central plank of the deal, which is expected to be signed in Washington in a few weeks, is the withdrawal of Rwanda's support for the group. The deal is also expected to stipulate the concession of territories back to the Congolese authorities. A Qatar-led mediation between the warring sides, led by both sides, committing to endure the conflict ladder, but pocket the skirmishes for recently been reported between the M23 and government-aligned groups. Both sides have consistently accused each other of violating the ceasefire agreement. Concerns about force requirements.
We have followed, as everyone else, the presentation of more than 7,000 of new commandos presented by the M23. But we are still concerned about forced recruitment that we have documented since the takeover of the M23 in North Kivu and South Kivu. And those concerns as well have been highlighted by the recent a report by the fact-finding mission of the UN Human Rights Council recently in September. Yes, so this might affect the peaceful process that both the DRC, Rwanda, and M23 are trying to reach through the Doha and the Washington processes. So the fact that both parties are beefing up the military presence in those regions, so it means that they are not ready to go through the peaceful process.
And now moving on, the UN General Assembly is the main policy-making organ of the organization, comprising all member states. It provides a unique forum for multilateral discussion of the full spectrum of international issues covered by Charter of the United Nations. Each of the 193 member states of the United Nations has an equal vote. The Assembly meets in regular sessions from September to December each year, and thereafter as required. It discusses specific issues through dedicated agenda items or sub-items, which led to the adoption of a resolution. It is time.
The sitting arrangements in the General Assembly Hall changes for each session. During the 80th session 2025-2026, Niger will occupy the first seat in the hall, including the main committees, followed by all other countries in English alphabetical order. The General Assembly is the most representative body of the United Nations. It is the only one which all UN member states are represented and carry out decision-making together. The General Assembly's role is to evaluate and vote on recommendations relative to the international questions for which it is competent. A sovereign organ within the United Nations systems, it makes decisions according to a single majority vote, except for decision on major issues in which case consensus is favored. Each member state has equal voice. This body approves the UN budget, the UN Secretary General nominations, and elect members of other councils and bodies.
8 years ago, the United Nations emerged from the ashes of war to pursue the cause of peace. That mission is the beating heart of our organization. But today, peace is under siege. Conflicts are multiplying. Civilians are suffering. Human rights and international law are being trampled.
Every year, member states elect a new president of the General Assembly, as well as members of different commissions, of which there are 6. This year, the president of the General Assembly is Philomene Yang, previously Prime Minister of Cameroon, who assumed the role in September 2024.
Is adopted.
The General Assembly makes decisions that have the power to improve the lives of millions of people. For example, in 2016, it adopted a Sustainable Development Goals, also abbreviated as SDGs, 17 fields of actions for which the international community is to mobilize to achieve concrete results by 2030. Eradicating poverty and famine, promoting gender equality, investing in education, such as ambitious objectives are carried by the General Assembly to improve the human conditions and protect the planet. The General Assembly gathers in the largest room of the United Nations main headquarters in New York. Davis Karani for GBS News.
It's time for your most favorite segment of the show, the sports news. Let's get sporty. And now, Kenya's Faith Kipyegon has once again delivered a masterclass of the world stage. storming to victory in the women's 1,500 meters at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. The three-time Olympic champion led a dominant Kenyan 1-2 finish, securing her fourth straight world title in the event and further cementing her legacy as the undisputed queen of the middle distance running. Behind her, rising star Nelly Chepchirchir claimed silver, completing a powerful statement from Team Kenya in one of the sport's most competitive races. At 31st, Kipyegon showed no signs of slowing down, controlling the race with elegance, then exploding in the final lap with a trademark kick that left the field chasing shadows. And she is not done yet. Kipyegon now shifts focus to 5,000 meters, where she will go head-to-head with close friend and fierce rival Beatrice Chebet. With both athletes in top form, another epic chapter is about to unfold later this week.
I just want to thank God. First, I want to thank God. It's not easy to, win every time, win every year, and break records. It's a matter of dedication, hard work, and being patient of, greatness. So for me, since I was young, I've been pushing myself and, waking up every time and working so hard to achieve every year. And I'm so grateful that I'm doing this every year. So, yeah.
Championship title. Faith Kipyegon now tied with the brilliant Itchamel Garouge in winning 4 World Championship titles. This woman is unstoppable. And that race with Beatrice Chebet is going to be an absolute humdinger in the 5,000.
And that's all. And that brings us to the end of tonight's news at 9. It's always an honor to bring you the day's top stories. I am Paul Madhenge, and our sign language interpreter has been Alan Kiama. Thank you for your watching, and have a wonderful night. Good night.
Everywhere, GBS.